Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're actually going to build something really practical. It's a map, but not just any map. This one's designed to guide you through all the noise online and lead you to information you can actually trust. I mean, think about it. Every single day, we're just swimming in this massive ocean of content, right? You've got news, videos, AI answers, opinions flying at you from every direction. But how often do you really stop and ask, hey, can I actually trust this? Finding trustworthy knowledge is a real challenge.
And look, that's really the heart of the problem we're tackling today. Getting information, that's the easy part. It's everywhere. But finding reliable information, well, that's become the real skill. And that's the skill we're building right now. All right, so what's our game plan? First, we're going to break down the information problem. Then we'll get into the hidden layers of online info. And finally, we'll build that research map step by step. Let's get into it. Okay, section 1, the information problem. And our goal here really is to get you beyond just, typing a random question into a search bar. We're aiming higher. We want to find the kind of top-tier sources that pros and experts actually rely on for their own work. So let's kick things off with a little thought experiment. And I mean, really think about this for a second. If Google just poof, vanished tomorrow, could you still learn anything you wanted to know deeply and accurately? Or would you feel completely lost? Developing that skill is what this is all about. To do that, to really get good at this, you need a mental model for the online world. So I want you to picture a pyramid of knowledge. Understanding this structure is the key to everything. So this pyramid has 3 distinct layers. Now, here's the thing. Most of us, and it's not our fault, spend pretty much all of our time stuck at the very bottom in layer 1. Our brains are just wired for what's fast and easy, and that's exactly what layer 1 serves up. Our goal today is to learn how to climb. So what exactly is layer 1? Well, this is what we call the surface web. It's your normal search results, right? Blogs, social media posts, most of the videos you'll find. Now, it's great for a quick look at something, but the quality is, let's just say, it's all over the place. This is where misinformation thrives, because anyone can publish anything. Okay, moving up a level, we get to layer 2, curated knowledge. Think of places like Wikipedia, reputable news outlets, or established educational channels. The information here is more organized. It's been checked by someone. It's a fantastic place to start, for sure. But, and this is super important, it's not the final authority. It's still just summarizing information from somewhere else. And that brings us to the very top of the pyramid, layer 3. This is where the real deep learning happens. We're talking about academic databases like Google Scholar, official government portals ending in .gov, university websites ending in .edu. This is where you find the original research, the raw data, the expert analysis that everything else, all those other layers, are built on. All right, so that's the theory, the pyramid. Now, how do we actually climb it? Let's get practical. We're going to build a really simple but powerful tool I call the research map. Your map has just 3 parts. Super simple. 1, you define your core question. 2, you list out the key concepts and keywords. And 3, you figure out the right channels and sources to look at. This simple structure is what's going to keep you from getting lost in that sea of 100 open browser tabs. Okay, let's build this map together. And we're starting with what is, without a doubt, the most important step of all, defining a sharp, specific question. This is what gives your brain a crystal clear target. Just look at the difference here. A vague goal like learn about electric vehicles, where do you even start? It leads to endless, random clicking. But a focus question like, is an EV practical for me in India in the next 3 to 5 years? Wow, that changes everything. It gives your search purpose and power. All right, on to the second part of our map. Once you've got that solid question, you need to learn how to speak the language that search engines and databases understand. This is all about gathering the right words, the right keywords. So what you do is you break your big question down into its core pieces. For our EV example, that's things like adoption rates in India, the charging infrastructure, battery costs, and government subsidies. Then, for each of those, you brainstorm different ways to say it. The technical terms, the official names for government schemes, like the FAME scheme, This list becomes your ultimate search toolkit. And this brings us to the final step in building our map. You've got your question, you've got your keywords, so where do you actually go to look?
The key here is to choose your channels intentionally instead of just defaulting to the same old search engine every time. So here's how this strategy works in practice. You start broad, right, in layers 1 and 2. Use something like Wikipedia to just map out the general landscape and maybe even find more keywords. Then you go deep. You dive into layer 3, using those awesome keywords you brainstormed on sites like Google Scholar or government portals to find the hard data. And finally, you add context by looking for experts, engineers, even real users in forums to get that full 360-degree view.
And there it is. Here's what your completed research map looks like. You have a crystal clear question, a powerful list of search terms, and a solid plan for what kinds of sources you're going to hit up, from broad overviews on Wikipedia to specific government reports from India's Niti Aayog to academic papers and even real-world EV owner forums. See, you've gone from just randomly clicking around to intentional, effective learning.
And I really want this to sink in. This isn't just some clever little trick. This is literally a simplified version of the exact same method that professional researchers and investigative journalists use every single day. It's a proven, powerful process. Okay, so now it's your turn. Here's your homework, your first challenge. I want you to actually build one of these for yourself. Pick a topic you're genuinely curious about. Write that one specific core question. Brainstorm some keywords. And then just list one source from layer 1, one from layer 2, and one from layer 3 that you're going to go explore. Now, once you have your map and you start searching, you're going to find a ton of information. So what's next? Well, in our next explainer, we're going to build on this by learning a 5-step critical filter. It's a system to help you evaluate and fact-check anything you find so you can be absolutely confident in your conclusions. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you have a map, now that you have this framework, what's the very first topic you're going to explore? What's that one thing you're really going to dive deep on? The journey to real deep knowledge always starts with that single, well-defined question.